Hello everybody and welcome to week 2 experiment of salt mining. This experiment was rather quick, but I believe I was successful in it. So as you can see from the video, when the video first starts, that is just a plate with a mixture of salt that was just regular table sea salt, and then it's a crushed black pepper, which is kind of all I had at the moment. Now this experiment, what we're going to do is we're going to try to see what happens when you mix salt and pepper together on a plate, and then you take a balloon, add friction with it using, the top of your head, and then apply it to the plate. Now, in order to see what happens, I'm going to show you guys the video, and then we can kind of talk about it and figure out kind of what happened. Okay, and those were the two items that I used in the green balloon. So I grabbed the green balloon and then I added the friction on top of my head, and then I added it to the plate. See? As you can see, it looks like a lot of salt and pepper are actually trying to make their way to the balloon. They are actually attaching themselves. The little particles are attaching themselves to the balloons as so. Now, to explain that video, so part 1 is when we added friction to the balloon, what we are essentially doing is adding electrons. So once we add enough electrons to the balloon or the friction, we can get a negatively charged balloon. Now salt is ionic, which generally means that it has a negative component as well as a positive component. So in chemistry and in terms of all of that information, we generally get a positive negative attraction. Opposites tend to attract each other. So when you saw that the salt and the pepper were attaching themselves to the balloon, what was really happening was that the negatively charged balloon, which was added because of the friction to the hair, was attracting the positive charges in the salt and pepper, creating that kind of experiment where it would just, the salt and pepper were attaching themselves to the balloon. Now, if, let's say that this experiment didn't work, the only thing that I can think of that the reason for the experiment not working properly would generally be due to perhaps not enough friction on the balloon, or possibly it was the wrong type of balloon. Essentially, you have like the plastic balloons, the ones that you generally see, like the big plastic balloons, and then you have the regular rubber balloons. So if I were to use a regular plastic balloon, we probably wouldn't get the same results as we would with the rubber balloon. Now, the rubber balloon was just taken from a general dollar store, and it's a very easy experiment to repeat. So those were just the two things that I believe that would make the experiment not work. Now, this experiment didn't take very long, and it was relatively easy, and I believe I was relatively successful in performing the experiment and working with the negative and positive charges of the ions. And I do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to my experiment, and I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.